Well, we're back again. Hey everybody. Figured we'd do this video. Trying to do a little bit of a follow-up video to one of my most watched videos, which is a freak show performance torque converter video. A lot of people are interested in how that's been working for me, what the cost is, and the durability of them. So we'll kind of run through that stuff real quick and try and get an idea on, for the price and value, if it's really worth it. Let me grab these time slips here from last night. We'll run down these time slips too. I know I made a video last night about this, but we'll run through these time slips and shit. But okay. First things first. Let's sit down here and let's talk about this converter. Okay, I bought a freak show performance torque converter. I don't know, sometime back in March or April of 2018, earlier this year, and had it custom built. It was a 4500 stall, and it was balloon plated for nitrous, 9-inch stall, 9.5 inch stall. Again, that was only $350. So for that price, I figured I would have to try it and see what I really thought about it. For that price, you can't really go wrong. So I bought it, $350, got it, made the video that you've seen, and then from that point, I commenced racing it. So I'd say I probably got about 30 passes or so on this, and no problems, no issues at all with the converter. It's actually, converter's on point. Like I said, it's a 4500 stall, but due to my brakes, older style brakes, I can really only stall up to about 3200 at the light, because it starts trying to push through the brakes, which is fine. And that leads me into my next discussion that we'll talk about. Like I said, 30 passes, no problem. I've hot lapped it a few times. I've made like 2 or 3 passes back to back, and very consistent times. So the converter is doing its job. So as far as right now, I'm not going to touch it. I'm not going to touch the transmission or the converter until something happens, until it starts, not locking up or slipping or something like that. But for the price, you get on eBay and they got preset auctions. It's Freak Show Performance, preset auctions for different stall or torque converters. You pick what you want. They have standard stalls and they got billet stall converters, like big high-end shit for nitrous applications, blower applications, turbo applications, anything that I would say, in my opinion, I don't know what they're rated at, but I would say anything for 850 horsepower or better is what the billet's made for. Just get on there, pick what you want, pay for it. If you have any questions or anything, you contact Freak Show Performance, and he will talk to you about your build that you need for your car. So I told him what I was doing, told him what my car ran about time-wise, how much horsepower, what it weighs, and he did tell me, though, over the phone, he said, with this stall, he said, your street drivability is going to go down. And I was like, why? I never had a stall that high. Well, simple reason why is you're getting all that slippage when you're cruising around the street, your transmission's heating up, and you're not really going that fast. You're doing 35 miles an hour, but your transmission's doing all that slipping because you're only doing like 2,000 RPMs, so it's causing heat buildup in the transmission, which makes total sense. So my street drivability went down just a tiny bit. I'd say more than anything that caused the street drivability to go down would be the gears. I went from 411 to a 462, and that definitely changed everything. So to me, I think the drivability is there. You just have to have the right combo of rear end gear to converter slippage and then that matches your cam for what your cam card calls for. So it's a combo of things that lead into the grand scheme of things. To me, if I had it all over, if I could do it all over again, I'd probably went with a 5500 or a 6. I was told to go that high, and I didn't. Drew at Street and Strip told me that would probably be the preferable range for me for this motor, and I would get the most horsepower, torque, and time out of my car with that. So I did not go with the 55. I should have. I went with the 45 so I could have that streetability. But in all reality, if you want to go fast and you got an NA motor, you got to have a big stall. You just got to have a big stall. If you got a big cam, big solid roller like I got, a 620 lift solid roller cam, ported heads and shit, you definitely need a stall because that motor needs to be upstairs before you ever launch. So really decide what you want before you buy it. I'm happy with my purchase. I'm going to keep this stall, even if I do buy another one, which I probably will, maybe next year. I'm going to hang on to it for that simple reason of what I paid for it. You can't beat it. I know when my dad bought his stall, my dad had a 35 to 4,000 stall or a 38 to 4,000 stall. He paid like $500 for it. $530. So I paid, $350 shipped in my door, no taxes or nothing. So to me, that's a great deal. I think that if you're looking for a great stall or torque converter for a great price that can't be beat, you go to Freak Show Performance and have them build you what you need. And turnaround times are really good. I think I ordered mine and it was here within 4 days of ordering it, and he built it. He still had to build it when I called and ordered it. So that's just a little heads up, my insight on the Freak Show Performance torque converters. I know a lot of people were interested in that, so I figured I'd do a little rundown on that in this video and just kind of. And then, y'all give me feedback on what y'all think about my comments. If any of y'all out there who's watched my videos have bought a Freak Show Performance torque converter and have raced it, brutal beatings. Driving on the street is fun, but that's not nowhere near as hard on anything as drag racing. Drag racing is extremely hard on stuff. So, yeah, if you have, any insight or feedback on these torque converters, put it in the comments. Definitely scroll through there and read them all. But so we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that right there on the torque converters. All right, we'll do a little rundown here. We'll do a little numbers here before we get into the grand scheme of what's going to happen with the car. I know I talked about it a little bit last night. But we'll get into that a little bit further right here in a second. It's raining. It's been raining. It's been raining non-stop for the last 4 or 5 days, which don't bother me none. It wasn't raining last night at the drag strip, though. So that's all that matters to me. All right, here we go. We'll do a little rundown on these and just kind of compare some times, see what we think, and go from there. All right, so our first pass of the night was our best reaction time of the night. We busted a .04 reaction, which is pretty good. That's not the best. A 168 60 foot. And then we'll go down here at the 8th mile, was a 740 and 9409. Now on this first pass, I did short shift first to second. Got out there, wanted to make sure everything was okay, first pass of the night. So I short shifted a little bit. That cost me a little bit of time, but the sun was still up, it wasn't that cool outside like it was last night when it really got cool last night. Okay, so then after that, we made a. Now this is an actual pretty good run right here. Now this is the turbo truck that I beat last night. You gotta remember, this dude had a single cab Chevrolet Silverado 1500 with a 5.3 truck motor with like a 66 turbo on it. I don't know if it was a 66 millimeter. I don't know if it was I think it was an eBay turbo. But nonetheless, a turbo truck versus an NA car. He got dusted. So, you know, what can you say about that? Reaction time, terrible. 0.21. Sleeping like a mug. It only gets worse after that, which is fine. 166 on the 60 foot. So we had a fairly good 60 foot right there. Not our fastest, but nonetheless very close to it. And then right here we went a 738 at 94. Oh my God, at 94.09. And I just now noticed this, and I'll show y'all here in a second on the camera, that my first pass and second pass, I went 94.09 miles per hour on both passes, dead on. So, that's pretty wild. I just now noticed that. All right, and then we'll go down here to my yellow slip, the loss that I took last night, which is fine on a test and tune. I really don't care. This is the one that I was talking about. Went out there, tried to do a burnout. Front brakes wouldn't grab. Car kicked sideways during the burnout, extremely sideways. So I stopped my burnout, back up again, try to do another burnout, kicked extremely sideways again for some weird reason. I don't know if there was something on the track or I was just not in the groove. It kicked sideways again, so I just pulled up there to the light. Of course, when I stalled up, got up there around 3,000 RPMs or so, the light turns green, blows the tires off. So I let on that. 14.6 at 36 miles an hour. So that's fine. That was totally fine with me. You know, it happens. Definitely happens in racing. So this leads me to the slip of the night right here. This is made me happy. I really didn't want to go home after this pass, but the guys were very smart. They made some good suggestions. They said the dew started falling last night around 9 o'clock. It looked like literally it was raining on the hood and trunk lid of my car. You could see water beating and running down the trunk lid. So when I seen that, I knew it was too wet to make a pass because I knew it wasn't going to stick. But last pass of the night, a 0.36 reaction time, which is fine. Practicing. No, it's not fine. It's terrible. But for a test of tune, that's fine. A 163 60 foot. Now, I don't know for sure if this is my fastest 60 foot. I think it could be. I think it is. If it's not, it's close. It's very close. And then on this, we went a 732 at 94.68. Now that is the fastest mile an hour this car has ever been in the 8th mile, ever. So I was pretty happy about that. Let me look back here. I had to say the closest race that I had all night was that truck. Because the truck, I ran a 738, he ran a 730. He ran 99 miles and I ran 94. But I beat him because I treated him by 0.2 and I 60-footed him by 0.3. So half a second gone by at the 330. Yeah, at the 330 foot mark, I was about a 1/10 ahead And then at the 594, I was only 500ths ahead. So he didn't really start coming on until the end. I won by a tenth. 0.1542 is the margin of win, which is fine on me. I'm going to take any win I can get. So, just want to do a little update, what's going on. I know y'all haven't seen no videos lately. The next plan for the car here is, for me, I feel like the smartest move would probably be to put a trans brake on here. It's probably going to be the cheapest, most effective way to gain time and not tear up anything. We might break a drive shaft, we might break U-joints, but I really don't see it fucking up. No, we're not going to break the rear end. Probably won't break the transmission, and it'll be a whole lot better than foot braking it on the motor. So, of course, that's got its little quirks to that. I'm hoping 2 to 3 tenths shaved with that trans brake, but we'll see. No way to really know. Let's try it. About $1,000. I don't know when I'm going to get it. This year's pretty much over. So for me to want to tear my car apart, last month or two left of racing, it's just not logically the smart thing to do right now. The best thing would be just go ahead and finish this season out. Do some fine tuning on it, timing and fuel, spark plugs, stuff like that. Try and go 7 to 9, and then come out swinging next year with either a big motor, and a trans brake, and nitrous kits, or we just come out of the gate with the trans brake and see what she'll do. Because like I said, this motor's built for spray. It's never been sprayed. So I mean, if we put a trans brake on there, 5,500 stall, 6,000 stall, and then 100 shot of nitrous, 200 shot of nitrous. I don't even want to talk about how fast that might be. But it would definitely be fast. Get out of there! Hey! Damn cats. But, yeah. Just figured I'd check in on y'all. I just picked this up. I know this is an old issue here, but if you're ever out and about and you see these magazines, grab one. They're really good. A lot of street car stuff in there. Talks about a little bit of everything, manufacturers and such, road coursing, and just advertisements, stuff like that. It's a really good magazine. I just wanted to thank y'all for watching, and see you next time, guys. It's been a great time. Now have a good one.